Hello, Regis students. Instructor Brian here. How you doing today? So we're back in the advanced IO and XML parsing. So I went back through and it really needed some more visualizations for you. And so I hope that when you get the note here, maybe you haven't looked at it. It's only been a couple of days. So what you're looking at here on the screen on the left-hand side is I've added more visualizations to help build you an understanding of what's going to happen when you get down to performing JSON parsing. And I've expanded the lab, and it has more detail and making it simpler. So to remind you from video 1 that why are we doing this? Well, when we need to send data around the world, JSON files, JSON and XML are two of the most trusted. And the JSON, I've done particularly a lot of work with. It packs things in terms usually like a dictionary within a dictionary. So let's take a new visualization of what one will look like here. Okay. So what I have here is a sample of data packed in a JSON format, okay, and it is for a cheat sheet for performing discrete mathematics. So what you see here is we have curly braces, curly braces, curly braces, okay, and so the level 1 is what's the name, and then level 2 is here's the data. So that's why we have two. That's why we have one main nest inside of it. All right, and then inside the nest, you're looking at ASCII symbols because it is using characters that get encoded. And the and, or, not, those are all, if and only if, those are all basics for performing discrete math when we're, learning about P of Q and so forth. But this picture here, okay, the reason why what I want you to see how cool this is, all right, is here is the complex picture, and that dictionary is that unpacked. And what I want you to try to understand is that this is being done with, data all around the world, whether it's, pictures, text, information. And so it's how the tools are able to send it out and receive it quickly and have you have almost a seamless experience on the phone. So that's why it's very important. Now, down here is a typical representation. It might be a little small in terms of the picture, okay? But what this is another section of discrete mathematics, and I want you to just start to see some of the density, all right? These pages can go hundreds of pages, and they're read in seconds. And that is the entire reason why we have the advanced IO and XML parsing, all right? So this is a data writer that I built using ChatGPT. It might not do it now because it has more paid services. So I give you some examples on if you need to build these, and if you need help, I'm desperate for your comments, right? But when we get down here in terms of 3.2 and 3.3, I've made the examples much cleaner as a warm-up. But what I want you to understand is that the files that are being created, we're going to create a file, all right, it is living over in the file section. You're building it right inside Colab. So, the file will be dumped up over here. And so these files that you can just delete, you could extract. But the other thing is that if you had to, go build a whole bunch of JSON data and send it out, you have my code books to do so. So that's why I'm trying to help you understand that that's what's cool about using Colab, because you can really decrease a lot of overhead. So I think what I'm going to go down and do, we'll expand the video for just this video for a few more minutes, is that in sections 3.3 to 3.1, I'm giving you, okay, it is the most detailed example of the Nmap with the XML. All right, so 3.1 is the visualization, 3.2 is kind of like your warm-up, and then 3.3 is the process to do it, and then that all gets repeated in the lab, okay? But for this video here, what I'd like you to have is just, I'd like you to have the conceptualization. What are we doing? Well, when you're going to do, let's say, an XLM, and you're going to go to a host, okay, I have it in here that, okay, it's the street address, and then you have the floor, okay? So if you're able to get into the door, and then you're able to, or not get into the door, that is going to be whether you're able to go grab the data, okay? The door opens to the data that you're trying to grab, whether it's on somebody else's computer or the school computer, all right? And so the other conceptualization for you on this data flow walkthrough, source, transformation, target. Source, transformation, target. So this should really help you out in terms of, okay, I need to go, I'm going to use an XLM approach, and I'm going to get my addresses of where I want to go get that. And then if I'm able to open the address and I can extract the data, okay, I'll be extracting from, the IP address that I'm in, and then I'm going to be putting it into my data space, okay? And so you're going to be opening ports, and the port will then be opening or connecting to the file. So if you're able to get it, you're able to go grab it. You can think of this like scraping, if you want to start getting into scraping the web, all right? So the rest of 3.3, this would, it might get a little long to look at, but I have a manual example I build of what a port system would look like, okay? You can typically go on the web and you will find that if you're going to be, doing this from a website and so forth. You can go down and, F12 and get to the underlying structure. But then the steps is that you're going to then, I got into the port. Okay, now let me see if I can safely parse the port. So I do have some elements in here that this is the raw bones to be able to do this, be able to convert a string, be able to make sure that you're doing it safely. And just look, the results here, they're initially putting them into a list, and then the list will probably get dumped into the dictionary. So the main structure, okay, for you, so it is that is the data structured, is it semi-structured, or is it unstructured, okay? And what I want you to know is whatever the data is, you can still put it in a JSON file and then be able to go and unpack it and do stuff with it. So that's why this is a really important lesson for you, okay? We could have multiple levels of unstructured data of what has to be done there. You can always ask me questions. I don't want to make it overly complex, but this is where we're going to end here. I just want you to see that, I'm going to send the file to a JSON, and you can think of the image all the way back up top. Maybe I'll put another one of those down here just as your final, lesson and reminder. So I know this video is probably a little bit longer. Let me see if we might need one for the lab. And thank you so much.